the riders know it's was a warm-up lap and they're all waiting there. We got a bike down at turn 1 here that was late out of the pit lane, and they've been held back at the moment, so no doubt the officials will have this well under control. It's great to work with some officials that have been around for enough time to see a few things and sort out any issues. It's been a pretty well smoothly run meeting. We've had very little in the way of red flags, I think 2 from memory. That 304 gets a start there as we've got period 2 bike out there, or class 2, route 2, whatever you call it. It's number 2. Here we go, vintage pre-war 350 and 500cc 0 to 250, pre-63 Clubman's factory modified and classic 1970s bike. So that pit lane starter has gone out of there. They normally stop at the end of the pit lane and get the instructions for there, but he's done the right thing. If he missed it, he's still done the right thing. DNF there for somebody on the infield there. The bike pulled well off there, didn't much get further than the start line, just about 100 metres down the road or down the track here at Manfeild. So what a great meeting. It's nice to get a copy of the Megaphone, the official magazine, and there's right in the front there, the contents is from the table. Ken McGeady writes a full page. It's not easy to write a full page on the sport every periodically. Lindley and Barry Dean from the Shed, 2018 Autumn Classic race days, a bit of a report for that. There's about 3 pages on that, as well as some adverts in there. Tantalising Taupo's 2018 Winter Classic. Great photographs there of bikes on the track and working. Motorcycle collections around America, the Harley-Davidson Museum, an obituary for the late Jack Nicholson, who's also got a photograph on the front cover, beautiful photograph too. A matter of opinion, and it's somebody's doing an article there. I don't actually know who writes it. Can you have a look on the front and see who writes that? No, it doesn't tell you. Anyway, beautiful article there. Transponder timing is here. Something new to the classics, or most of those boys don't know what this is all about. Upcoming events, this one, and the Mike Pro Southern Classic early in December down at Levels. Looking forward to that, run by the Cams down there. NZCMRR Club Day at Hackney Downs, 18th of November. New Zealand Motorcycle Show, 24th to 25th. An advert there for that, or an article about that. And the NZ Land Speed Trials, Wanted, Marketplace, Classic Racing Registers, Treasures Report. All in all, a lovely magazine, and it's about $50 to join up the Classic Register and get that magazine sent to you, and I need to actually do something about that. Talk to Cheryl Mickelson, that's how I know the price. Back onto the track, and the usual suspects out there, Terry Pragnell, followed by Tim Barnes and Lee Ambriggs out of the hairpin there down that centre straight. Pragnell is in the front there on the 159 machine, Tim Barnes there on the little Ducati, the white fairing bike. 251 in second, followed by 50, which is a Jawa single there. Go back a bit further there to 4th spot there, and that's Lascelles Carr on the C15 BSA looking over his shoulder. He's looking over, who's behind him? Troy Durant and Keith Whitehead, Suzuki versus Spinelli. Clinton Anstis in behind them, Dick Waterer. This is on the last lap. As on the last lap, Graham McCosh, Howard Curry, John Sendell and Paul Debenham. This is event number whatever, but it's also event number, it's Grand Prix 2, so it's the final race for the Grand Prix 2, or Group 2, GP stands for Grand Prix. Tight out at the front, probably 10 bike lengths between 251 and 159, so I changed the position somewhere around the track for those 2 bikes. I'll only ride for number 50 in 3rd place. He's got several hundred metres, a couple of hundred in front of him and about 300 behind him. So he's on his own there, but the battle is hot out in the front. Can Terry Pragnell come back and reel in Tim Barnes? 251. Terry Pragnell's just a little bit faster through this turn 2 here at Manfeild. Closes up under brakes, makes a few bike lengths on him. We look onto the Ctas live footage there, and we're just looking at the moment at 251. We get a bit of a glimpse of number 159 coming up there as they head to the hairpin. All this stuff's available online in about 2 days. It's live now. It's live now. We're live for the rest of the day, and then the recordings will go online, and some of the action-packed slow motion, including the crash where Colin Tate unfortunately had a problem. It turns out to be there was a throttle slide stuck in there, and when he put the front brakes on, it was still driving and just chucked it away down the road. So that's racing, they say, and but certainly caught by a static camera from Ctas and then replayed in the slow motion and that, and no doubt you can have a look at that. And Colin's a bit grumpy about going online, but hey, every dog has its day, and mate, the way he rides, he's a determined little dog sometimes to get through some other people. Everyone's determined on the track, but Colin Tate been around, I don't know how many years he's been running, but certainly leaving today with a little bit of wounded pride and a bit of a bent bike, but we'll get him back here. We'll get him back. Meanwhile, the front two bikes come along that front straight, and about the same distance as the last lap there, 251 versus 159. We had a gap of, that calls it at about 20 thousandths of a second. Not entirely accurate because of this system, because it's hand-entered and it's up to the speed of the fingers, but it's probably around about that figure going across the start-finish line. So great to have the team doing the timing here for the Spring Trophy Classic there. There it is. Through the infield there, 159 Cherry Pregnell, followed by, in fact, no, it's the other way around. It's 251 Tim Barnes, 159 Cherry Pregnell, 50 in third place, coming across the finish line. Marcel Carr there on 53, followed by 398. That's Keith Whitehead, Troy DeRat, and Dick Water has just gone through. We're looking out 79. I recognise that bike. Graham McCosh has got ahead of Clinton Enstis on another one of those Jawas, and looking out for Howard Curry, John Sendell and Paul Debenham. They are probably round that back big sweeper there. There's three bikes there, I can see it. I think that's John Sendell in front on the little 183 or see various thereabouts. BSA Bantam, a specialty of his. He got a lot of, in fact, most of the parts off the late Ken Bailey, who's spent most of his later life playing with BSA Bantams and selling parts. So if you need parts, go and catch up with John Sendell. Ask any Classic Club, they'll have his contact details, and we'll be able to know someone with it. I come to the Manawatu Motorcycle Show a few months ago, and I think it was about 14 or 15 BSA Bantams of various styles there amongst 200 bikes at the show. They're having a swap meet coming up too. There's a checkered flag. They're having a swap meet coming up too in about November, about the 11th possibly, out at the Vintage Car Club room, so keep an eye on that. Checkered flag done for 251, then 159 Cherry Pregnell. Liam Briggs is coming through here. In fact, has he gone through? No, he's still coming along here. Here comes Liam Briggs onto the front straight, or is that not him? He's on the Jawa. That doesn't look like him. Yes, it is him, sorry. The brick red looks like black from the front, but the brick red in the cloud, I missed that, but it is number 50. You could see his numbers. Thanks for the clear numbers there, Liam Briggs. And Marcel Carr 53 comes through, and there it is, 398, Keith Whitehead. There's Troy DeRat goes through there. In fact, no, he doesn't. Richard Water is. Troy DeRat had a bit of an issue. I think he must have, because there's Graham McCosh. This Troy DeRat on bike number 285 has lost a couple of spots there. Has he gone through? No, he's gone through, folks. Apologies for that. 9th place, Clinton Enstis, and John Sendell's coming round that big sweeper to take 10th. Then it'll be Howard Curry and Paul Debenham.